The Rap Roundtable.
You already know what it is when you see Macito and Jaw pull up. It's the Chatty Boys. News is moving, so the Rap Roundtable has to talk about it. You know what it is already. We're not here for nothing more than some Chatty Boy energy. Shout out Dini, shout out Sin. The third wing of the Chatty Boys is a little occupied right now, so you got the two of us and Macito. Megan Thee Stallion kind of got shit lit, and all the Benny the Butcher noise for the real heads like ourselves, more so me than you in that regard. We know what it is already.
Come on, we know the vibes.
The real story that was going viral is this hiss record from Meg. In the midst of this hiss, the little stinging, you know what I'm saying? There was some pop outs. There was some Aubrey bars.
What?
There was some Nicki bars. And Nicki Minaj came outside. So, Mace, talk to me, bro. What's going on? Is there a Nicki Minaj and Megan Thee Stallion feud that I didn't know about?
Listen, we never been two people to give Meg Thee Stallion too much crazy props. You know what I mean? But listen, Meg got shit hot this weekend, man. That his record, like you said, it has the OVO team in shambles. You know what I mean? We out here writing memes. Comparing our streams to Meg, you know what I mean? We out here, we stressed out. And also, the only people affected more than the OVO portion of the game are the barbs. Listen, man, say what you want. This his record has Nicki Minaj might not stop tweeting yet. I'm gonna be honest, man. She's tweeted nonstop for I think 72 hours at this point. It happened immediately upon midnight. Listen, say what you want, not since Tupac bugging out about who shot you has somebody been this stressed out about a record that didn't even mention your name, okay?
Right.
She's out here losing it. You see, it was a sub. It was a heavy sub.
Oh.
Megan's little ball was tough. A heavy sub, but just a sub. And Nicki Minaj is losing it. Now, if you ask me, the BBL bars she sent towards Drake were even more lethal. You know what I mean? Listen, Drake sent shots at her first on her loss. We all heard them. The world famous, she's a stallion, but she's lying bars. She went for Aubrey's head, bro. Like, I'm sorry. She kind of dismantled us with that one. You know what I mean? I don't know how Drake really responds to that. That was a tough bar. There was Tory Lanez bars. People are saying there was like a Rihanna sub on there. I haven't seen that correlation yet. But at the end of the day, listen, Meg kind of, shook up the game with that one. I'm not going to lie. Obviously, Benny's the one who we all listening to this weekend. But as far as like the chatty portion of the game, Meg definitely went on, y'all. Like, we got to keep it a buck here.
Nah, we definitely got to keep it a buck. This after the whole thing that happened with Redacted and all the different stories and
right.
You know what I'm saying? What was she trying to cover for him? Was she telling? The people accusing her of being a victim, going on the white networks and talking about the situation. There were so many different narratives attached to it. And you know what? It kind of hurt her Q rating. We got to call it what it is because some people believe what they're going to believe and they're never going to switch back. You know what I'm saying? Right. She tried to make these records and they not sticking the way it used to. Like it's like Megan is a star. So when it comes out, people want to hold up stats and say, oh, it's doing this, it's doing that. Stars are always going to pop a number initially. But when we talk about if you're hot or not, we're not talking about popping a number. We're talking about staying power. And what's been hurting with Megan with her music is staying power. And ladies, relax. We in the ladies' business. We keeping their music here. We not talking about no gossip. It's the rap roundtable. We talking about some rap. Yeah. There you go. So the music hasn't been sticking the same way. Of course, the hotties or whatever they call Meg's fan base, they locked in with her. They're gonna do it. But we're talking about the people who are the casual Megan fans. They haven't stuck around. So Megan did what she came in the league doing. Before the ass shaking, before all the controversies, she was a rapper. She came in rapping. She didn't come in twerking like some of these other artists. She came in rapping. She wasn't. Sometimes I feel bad for Ice Spice. You know what I'm saying? I love some of the songs. I don't like some of the songs. But I be thinking I have a very warped way of thinking. And I see these videos and I just see Ice Spice, every scene is just her twerking. Does she get tired of that? Does her back hurt? All the ass throwing, like every other scene, she's doing the same shit. You know what I mean? It's like, so it's like when right. So it's like when I think about Meg came in rhyming before the powers that be told her, listen, look at you, you got sex appeal, sell that too. So I like the fact that when all else fails, you go back to what worked for you the best. You called out Drake, the Drake bars. Honestly, that's some shit that was some Pusha T level shit. As far, and it's not saying that she's as nice as Pusha T for the people who are gonna tune in. What we're saying is that was some surgical shit to talk about the nigga having a male BBL and the scars is there and his body is rounded and ouch.
Posted up in another nigga hood like a bad
like
bitch.
a bad bitch. Yo. Hey, be clear. OVO, whatever. I know you OVO team, Drake, but Drake deserved those bars. He earned every bit of those bars. He said what he said. And he was throwing darts before he came out, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So he earned that. Then you go at Nicki and shit like that. And it's like, yo, Meg, are you sure you want to do that? You know what I'm saying? Because the first thing that came out was the Goodfoot jokes on Instagram, right? Then we had Megan's Law. For a free beat, you can hit Raw. Hashtag Megan Raw on Twitter. Then she's talking about conjuring up her mother and all this and that.
Nicki going
she said she's lying on her mother and all of that. Mace, is Nicki going too far, or is all fair in love and war?
Listen, I'm a big proponent of once we in it, you know what I mean? Same thing with Drake, you know what I mean? We had to admit the loss. Once Drake got to talking about you hurt my feelings, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? This is what's supposed to happen. We come from the era of, you know what I mean? Biggie and Pac, Jay and Nas, Beanie Siegel and Jadakiss, nasty bars. You understand me? So, you know what I mean? I don't want to sound like, you know, our uncles, but listen, don't be soft. You know what I mean? Well, if we gonna go there, we gonna go there, because at the end of the day, a lot of people could argue that as low as Nicki could go, Meg could go even lower. So if Meg got it in her, you know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, I gotta respect the fact that, you know, the people that had her name in their mouth, she ain't say a word, no interviews, no posts on Instagram, no you know, vague captions. She got in the booth and she made it happen. And then she went on the old school rollout, talking to Charlamagne all weekend. You know what I mean? So listen, I'm not mad at Nicki, because at the end of the day, we know how Queens MCs give it up. Like that's Nas, that's 50, that's Prodigy, that's LL. It might get nasty for Meg. You know what I mean? This is a Queens MC we talking about. Southside.
And you know what? You know, on this, put it this way, the humanitarian in me, the humane individual in me is like, yo, you talking about her moms, bro. You know the story with her moms. Biggs, you're gone too far. You know what I'm saying? You doing too much, Nicki. But then on the flip side of that, it's like, look, on some rap shit, if you basically said that Nicki's kind of buns. You call it, and honestly, a lot of people like Lotto throw her little darts and call her auntie and call her a cokehead. But nobody's ever called Nicki buns. Say she's soft. Meg took it there. So I feel like at this point we need, you gotta respond. You know what I'm saying? Not if you see it, because to me in the streets, I've seen some of the ladies talking about it. They saying that's fighting words. This could get very personal. And considering Nicki's history with her man, again, Chatty Boy segment, her husband, pardon me. We know his history. We don't have to rehash it. Nicki, this is kind of like what happened with Meek and Drake. Drake put himself out there. If Meek played that right, Meek had a lot of bars that he could have thrown that eventually push her through. To me, I'm kind of nervous for what Meg is going to play. Because to me, Nicki has enough warts between her alleged drug use, her current situation with her husband, and what he can and what he can't do.
This is true.
And the fact that she has a bad rep throughout the league, it's right there. And Nicki ready for war. She even was mocking the Southern accent. She rhymed like Bun B, she rhymed like Pimp C. And some people took offense to that. I wanted to ask you before we move on. Do you feel like she's being overly disrespectful by mocking the Southern accents that Meg uses as a Texas artist?
I think maybe it wasn't the smartest thing, because a lot of people are bringing up the fact that Nicki got signed and was put on largely by Southern artists. But I think people gotta just face the facts. Like that's the Nicki. If there's anything, she's competitive. You know what I mean? So that's just the competitor coming out. You know what I mean? Oh, you rapping like this, you rapping like that. I seen some people saying that that Meg is rapping like Run DMC. People kind of getting on Meg's style this weekend. You know what I mean? But that's what you do. You poke holes in your competitor's style. You know what I mean? Their rep. She doing what you supposed to do. You know what I mean?
Right, and that's the thing that people don't understand. Like I mentioned it when we talked about the other redacted. There's this second place energy with this new wave of hip hop, and you got to understand when Nicki's talking about rap, she's not making fun of the South. She's talking about the person who's calling her out's technical ability to rhyme. And when she hears Meg rhyme, she's pointing out the fact that you're not unique in your approach. One minute you rhyming like Bun, the next minute you rhyming like Pip. Who are you? It's a technical shot. It's not a mockery of a region. But again, that's the New York in us. We already knew what it was when she started doing that shit. The first thing a New York person does when they don't like you or they feel like they disrespect you is we mock you. Before it gets personal, the first thing we always do is we make fun of you. And after we make fun of you, we checking your temperature to see how serious you want to take this. You know what I'm saying? That's what happened. All of this, right? This whole weekend, Nicki ain't get serious yet. This is mockery. You know what I mean? Right. And let's talk. And if you want to talk about rapping, can Megan out rap Nicki? Can she outflow Nicki? Can she outbar Nicki? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I don't think so. But I think this is Meg's chance to see what it is. Like, fuck all this chatty shit. To me, like, you called her out. She responded how she chose to respond, even though she on her Kanye shit with the tweets. Nicki, you doing a lot. I hope there's some rapping that comes out of this. Or maybe this is one big rollout. Shout out to Sin. Everything is a rollout. Nicki's got an album out that's trending really good right now. His just dropped controversial record. Maybe we're just taking the bait and it's an album on the way.
Hey man, that's what we're here to do, right?
Oh, yeah.
Speculate and pontificate.
Speculate and pontificate. That's a bar. Let's move on though. Eminem also came outside, threw some darts at a longtime rival's way. Good old Benzino, a person who's, no disrespect to Zeno, but in hip hop circles, he's easy to dislike. I know he's tried to clean up his name in the past year. He was on Math Hoffa's podcast and he told his side of the story with what happened at the source and things of that nature. But there's been so many years of bad will that it's really difficult for people to really, sympathize and everything that happened with Coi Leray and their relationship or lack thereof. It's difficult to sympathize with Zeno. But Eminem, I don't know what the story is here, Mace. I'm leaning on you with this. Like, why is Eminem throwing darts at Benzino in 2024? Did Benzino talk about M again?
I mean, Benzino's never stopped talking about M. I think there was like a small window in time that Benzino was like, I wilded out, I bugged out. But other than that, Benzino was always throwing shots at Eminem. The thing is why is, like, do you see how you didn't even know that? Like, why is Eminem searching Benzino interviews that, like, you've been knowing that Benzino didn't like you? But yeah, Benzino has been continuously, I think he had a lot to say specifically about M's semi back and forth with Melly Mel. You know what I mean? I think that he definitely has something to say about that. But yeah, Benzino's definitely, every chance he get to talk about M, he take the chance. You know what I mean? If Benzino's sitting in front of you, you got about 5 things to ask him. You know what I'm saying? Like, Eminem's definitely gonna be one of them.
And it's like, I'm gonna be clear. Like, we're a little bit on the older side, more so me than Mace. I don't mind a little sparring. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm always here for the rap sparring, but I don't care to hear about Eminem dissing Benzino. So what, at this point, based on what I said earlier, Benzino is an easy target. He's the one person in rap, I think, right now that almost anyone can diss, and they'll side with the dis-e, the disser, not the dis-e. You get what I'm saying? So like, I don't care. Benzino, let that man talk. Like, Eminem, in the grand scheme of it all, you won, bro. You won. You won at life. I don't know what his money is like. I've never Googled his net worth, but I know it's up there. He's doing okay. I don't know where Benzino is at, but a lot of people attack Benzino's like the Eric Bischoff of rap. Like, even if it's not accurate, they attach losing money and bankruptcy to Benzino in the same way they attach losing money and accuracy to Eric Bischoff. But then when you start pulling the facts and you start looking at what's what, it really wasn't his fault at the end of the day.
Right.
So leave that man alone, bro. And then a little stray with the Coi Leray. Coi over here living her best life, trying to do another rollout. You know what I mean? We're watching the rebrand with Coi Leray in real time when she went from being, I don't know what she was trying to do at first with the box braids and the baggy clothes and the white beaters, to now enhancing her sex appeal and trying a different route with this music shit. Like, leave Coi alone. Coi don't even want to mess with her pops. What you bringing her into it for?
She's shitting on him. And let's just like you say, it's really the technique here, because I want to speak about the fact that Sin, I'm glad you're not here for this one. I thought the verse was kind of dope, other than the Benzino shot.
Right, the giraffe bar.
Right, I thought he sounded focused for the most part. I like the fact that they took, I believe, the old role model beat, kind of modernized it. I thought it was kind of dope. You know what I mean? And then I'm like, why, Benzino bars? Eminem, why are you wasting your talent on Benzino bars? Eminem, why every time you have a verse that comes out, it's like Eminem's new verse, he's dissing Melly Mel. Eminem's new verse, he's dissing Joe Budden. Eminem's new verse, he's dissing Benzino. That's that's part of the Eminem shtick on every verse. I don't know, maybe MB bored, you know what I mean? Maybe that's his vibe, but I just felt like he sounded dope on here, you know what I mean? So the fact that you let the Benzino shit kind of overshadow, you know what I mean, your talent, you know what I mean? It kind of sums up a lot of what Eminem's done throughout his career. Right,
and at this point, bro, I'm gonna make it clear, and I know a lot of hip hop feels this way. We don't ever want to hear another bar from Eminem directed towards Benzino. We don't care. Now, I know the Eminem fans care. And the thing is, Eminem fans, they don't view the sport the same way we view the sport. We're not gonna make this no race baiting and all this other whatever. But we know that a lot of Eminem fans don't look like us, and they love M to act, and they'll ride with M specifically no matter what he does. But the people who are in the culture heavily and not just for a specific artist, we don't want that anymore. Game made a whole record about you. How long was that song? You remember how long that song was, Mace?
8 to 10 minutes.
8 minutes, a long song. And then you throwing darts at Coi and you dissing Benzino, and then people are, but he did respond to Game. If a man gave you 8 minutes, and it wasn't and Game disses usually be a little long with it. Game kind of fried him on that.
He kind of dismantled him, if you want, broke him down type vibes.
You were supposed to get in the ring with him. To say that he responded when he only threw a couple of words back his way, it's like a dude in the ring calling you out and saying, yo, you ain't shit. And it's like boxing. The dude is in the ring after the fight saying, all right, let's say now, Terrence Crawford say, yo, Canelo, I just took care of Spence. I want you next. And Canelo's in the crowd saying, we can fight. The man called you out, said, I want to fight. And you outside the ring saying we can fight. You ain't do no press. You ain't say, I don't think this guy is that good. I don't respect Terrence Crawford as a fighter. He's nothing. You just said we can fight and you moved on. This man gave you 8 minutes. You were supposed to respond back with a whole diss. Not no throwaway ball like Game was not one of the best. I might not like Game's music. That's just a preference thing. But you've never heard me fix my mouth to say that Game is trash or he's not like that. This man can rap, and he can rap at a high clip, and he called you out. You didn't get in the ring. So all the Eminem fans saying that the same way he could spend mad bars, he gave Benzino more bars than he gave Game. That's a problem.
That's crazy.
That's the real issue here.
Because you got a real MC calling you out. And just like you say, you're the guy who walks into the room and say, yo, I'll beat everybody ass in here. And then somebody with boxing gloves gets up and you don't beat his ass. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
You find a way to go find, the elderly dude in the corner, you know what I mean? Who's popping shit too, but you find you know what I mean? You know what I mean? You go to disability parking and start swinging on niggas.
You gave Benzino better bars, even if we don't like the giraffe line and everything else he was saying. He talked about the man hiding in hotels. He don't got no neck. He's the opposite of a giraffe. All this shit, but you couldn't give Game his fade. All Game wanted was a fade, bro. You ain't give Game his fade. You've been giving Benzino the fade for 20 years, damn near.
20 years. The man is broke. Just like you said, you ain't lie. They did catch him coming out the hotel. You know what? Boy that used to run Don Diva. Don't think I forgot that. It's true. Everything you said is true, but we don't care.
Word to Stephen A. I'm here to tell you we don't care. Give people a proper fades, especially when they call you out. Not some dude who you know you can beat. Because I don't care what Benzino, unless Benzino can find some tape of Eminem saying nigger. I don't want to hear it. That's all I gotta say about that. It's cool. We love the sparring. We love the sport. Poor Koi getting ratioed on Twitter because she don't want to be involved in this shit. They ratioed her bad. They ratioed her so bad she had to go post some cheeks the next day just to balance it out.
Hey,
damn near naked on Twitter. Yeah. Yeah, but comment section, let us know. It's free smoke this weekend in rap. You know, we got the Benny action and we got all these disses. Be clear, we still gonna talk. On Monday on the live, we got to talk about the Shade Noir EP. We gonna talk about Bloodstained Sway 2 from the holy God MC himself. I Am God. We gotta get even more further in depth with the Benny album. So don't be clear, don't fret. We got the live Monday Night Raw is coming on Monday. We're gonna break all of these things down. But it was all about the Chatty Boys today. Make sure you tap into that Benny the Butcher reaction. Lock in with the Rap Round Table. And we'll tap in with you real soon. Peace.
Yeah.